Hi. Very often we've heard of people say, you need to change, we need to change, the environment needs to change. So we keep talking about change, change, change all the time. I often wonder whether we've understood this word change and what does it mean to change. Well, I thought nothing better than go back to basics and touch nature. Nature teaches us a lot, if we are observant. And one such creation of the nature is the eagle, irrespective of which type of eagle. But let's take for example the bald eagle, one of the biggest of the species, which has got a wingspan of 6 feet, a rather heavy bird, very majestic. I mean, one can just keep on looking at it for hours. I've had that experience. I just couldn't get my gaze off that bird. It's so majestic. But go a little deeper into their history and their life cycle. They live approximately about 70 years. That's their lifespan. But when they come to an age of 40, that's when the things start going a little wrong for them. Look, they are species of prey. Okay, they are predators. They need to hunt for their food, for their survival, and for their chicks. So they rely on their beak, they rely on their eyesight, they rely on their flight, they rely on their talons or the claws. Now for feeding, they require their beak, their talons, as well as their wings. Because they come down from the mountains, they come as low as to the sea level to hunt for fish, whether it's a lake, river or the sea. But they require these. But so when they come to an age of 40, their beak is literally bent, so can't do much, and it's blunt. The talons, they are rubbed off. They are not sharp enough to pierce the skin of the fish. The wings, because of the wear and tear through weather, they start getting oily and they get sticky. With the result, they become heavy. When the wings become heavy and they stick, they can't take off too quickly, especially when they go to low altitudes. And it takes that much more effort for them to keep afloat. So what do? So at that period of time, that bird has to actually, in our human words, take a decision. Either it takes the effort of accepting that, look, it's come to that midpoint of their life and they need to bring about certain changes in their own system in order to survive the next 30 or 40, 20 or 30 years. They need to bring about certain changes. Otherwise, they will die. They can't feed, so they will die of hunger. Or they'll be eaten by other predators. So what does this eagle do? The eagle soars to the highest mountain that it can fly to, finds a perch. A perch means a place where it can rest and build a nest, and then starts banging its beak on the rock till it breaks, literally breaks. Now all this is very painful, but it has to do it. Then it has to wait for the beak to come back. Once the beak comes back, the sharp beak, it starts biting off and breaking the claws, the talons. Once that breaks off, it has to wait now for the new talons to come out. Once that comes out, it starts plucking its feathers. Now, each feather it takes out and throws out. Then again it has to wait for the new feathers to come in. Once the new feathers come in, it's as good as new, and it takes flight once again. Now this entire cycle takes 150 days approximately. 150 days. Now we'll wonder, how does it survive till then? Well, it has to do with what it has. But it has to wait till it gets back all its equipment, if I may use this word, in order to become absolutely overhauled, brand new, and ready to take on the challenges of the world again. If we draw that analogy to us as human beings, ever wonders where do we need to change? We've often heard people tell us back in school, college, when at work, you need to change yourself, otherwise it'll be difficult for you. You need to change, you need to change, you need to change. But nobody is able to tell us where to change and how can they. And even if they do, they will tell you their perspective. You are the best person to understand where that change is. And in order to do that, you need to introspect. Now, normally changes mean what? Changes in behavior. How do we come across to other people? How do we engage with them? What is the quality of our conversation? What is the quality of our behavior around people? In any scenario, in any situation. How do we bring about a change in our attitude to learn new things? Because as you know, if you don't upscale, you have a problem. Everything requires change. Our diet needs to go through a change. We can't keep eating like how we used to eat when we were back in school and college. As we age, the requirements are different. Are we willing to accept that change? Are we willing to accept the fact that time is ticking along and we need to change our way of operating on a day-to-day basis? The amount of sleep we need, the amount of exercise we need, the amount of mental exercise we need, whether it's reading or taking up something which is constructive in nature where you need to use your brains, your eyes, your hands, maybe your feet. How often do we think, where is it that I need to change my life so that I may restart and again launch myself to discover the many things that this world has to offer? I'll say one lifetime is not enough. I mean, you would have heard people say, we have to discover so many things in our own city, let alone outside the city, let alone outside the country. There's so much out there waiting to be seen, waiting to be experienced. But the only way you can do it is by upkeeping yourself, and that upkeep will only happen if you bring about a change here. How you think. That change is going to allow you to soar once again like that eagle. Not only enjoying life, but also taking on the challenges as and how they come. Are you willing to change? As I have already accepted that I need to change every day for a brand new beginning. Happy changing.